So hi everyone, this is Mawipa Social Media. My name is Maria Almanzar. Today is Thursday, October 11th, and it's 3:29. And let's talk about Esaid Hoke. Pix 11 did an interview with his mother, and she was talking about how she wants justice for her son Esaid. Apparently, we all know that Esaid was stabbed repeatedly. I think a few days before Junior was murdered on June 20th. So I believe he was, I think, June 18th, I believe, probably Esaid was stabbed several times by gang members. Prior to that, Esaid had issues with, excuse me, with the gang members because his mother said that a couple of days that happened, months before, he had trouble with the gang because Esaid had said that he was part of a gang, and it's called the Grizzly Gangs, and they're part of the Blood Gangs. Okay, so I really don't know much about gangs, but apparently he had problems with the back and forth with gangs, and so when they asked his mother about, whether her son was involved in any gang related fights or was he in any kind of gangs, she said that maybe he could have been, but probably when he was in school. Also, she wants justice for her son because, of course, we know that it caused him to lose a kidney, and also they never arrested any of the suspects that had stabbed Esaid. And of course, Esaid, when he arrived at the hospital, he had 2 cardiac arrests, and they had to resuscitate him from all the wounds that was inflicted on him. So some commentators on YouTube had said that his mother's in total denial when asked if her son was in any kind of gang. Of course, she is a mother. She's not going to throw her son under the bus, okay? So commentators, please realize that even though her son had probably been in gangs, he's not the first nor the last to be in gangs. And of course, when we talk about kids that live in the Bronx, we immediately think that this is a poor neighborhood and that this is their way out. And what I'm saying about that is that kids, instead of, something is lacking in their home, and so they look towards gangs as being part of their family. And of course, we all know that this is not true. Esaid Hoke, he is no longer living in the Bronx. He is living with relatives, and his mother has given up her apartment where she lives in the Bronx and decided that she asked for an eviction, and probably what she should do is not return back to the Bronx, to a place where her son was brutally stabbed and almost killed. Do I blame her? Like, I know that it is very difficult to start new, but also the fact that Esaid doesn't want to start 8th grade again. I think that Esaid, you have been given a second chance by God, and that you should take that opportunity to start over again. Doing 8th grade is way easier than what you've been through, and already you've been through enough. So, for the mother who is asking that justice for her son, I stand behind her 100%. I feel for his mom because his mom probably wasn't really aware of her son's whereabouts or what he was doing. And so she is not a bad mother, and also she is not a mother who I believe doesn't take care of her son. Children do stuff, And we all know that, like I've always said in all my videos, we were once 15, and we um, we did things that our parents were not aware of. So I see that Esaid is on social media. I do hope that he gets off social media, because this is not the time for Esaid to be going on social media, since he is still a target, and his the suspects that had did this to him, of course, are still on the loose, and they haven't even charged any of those that were involved his um, in his in his case, or were involved, in his stabbing. So nobody has been charged with anything, and so the greatest advice that anyone can give you, Esaid, is that try to be off social media for a while. About your classes, I think that this young man has can start a new life and start all anew. There are One commentator said that there are classes online. I think that that would be a good idea into probably getting him to start over. It's way better than not having anything, or to start over with, but it's better to start over and knowing that you can come out clean and start a new life and a new beginning. I do believe that his mother is a, not a woman that was aware of her son's doings, and also the fact that she's in denial, and also the fact that right now she's staying with relatives. I don't know what her financial situation is, but it seems to me like it's as though she is scared to move forward, and this is why she wants to go back to where she was, because she feels like maybe she can pay that rent instead of moving and having to pay another rent. They do, and they can help you to relocate. I mean, I don't see why you have to go back to the place that almost killed your child. We have to understand that, yes, she is a mother who is scared, and is probably scared of change and big changes. On the other hand, she wants her son to go back to school and finish his academic studies, and I don't think that, like I said before, going back and doing 8th grade is necessarily a thing that is no big deal. Start your 8th grade again, go back to school, be grateful that you have an opportunity to start all over again, and be grateful that you are alive and that you're safe. Maybe the one who got killed, like Junior, was not fortunate, and unfortunately he can't start over again. Esaid brings good points to his social media about young kids staying off the streets and not getting out sooner. He does bring a very good point that the streets can only bring you trouble. And so to all the little kids who are the ages of Esaid, I I hope that you're listening to what he's saying and just not brushing it off. Here's a kid who, he had it probably very hard, and probably thought no one cared about him. And it took, him losing a kidney to realize that life out on the street is not good. It's not a good thing. And that those gang members are not your family. They only want one thing, and one thing only, is to recruit in a gang, so that those recruits that they have in their gang can rival against each other, and of course they send out the young kids to do their dirty work. It's such a shame, because the people, the men, or lead these gangs, these young kids, to do crimes, and then they wind up in jail, and they wind up with no future, and they wind up in prison for a very long time. If you go to prison, of course, we all know they no longer try you as a juvenile, they try you as an adult. So kids who are out in the street and think that the gang life is a glamorous life, when you do something to, betray them or do something that they feel threatened, they will go after you and they will kill you. So I urge every little kid out there, just like Esaid said, get off those streets. Try to find better. Try to talk to your parents. Try to find ways to communicate with your family and to your mother, to your father, to your brothers, or to your friend, your best friend. But try to be a leader and not a follower. Sometimes we follow our very own demise. And what demise is, we follow our own death and our own destiny until we follow the darkest moments. So try to heed to the advice that being in a gang is not something that is glamorous, nor is it anything that can bring you a better future. All it is that they want kids to do their dirty work, and so they want you to fight against each other, so that they can see who is the best gang or the most strongest or the most baddest. And they're none of that. Okay, so I hope that Esaid Hoke will understand that starting over is way better than not starting at all, and that you have a second time and a second chance at life. Use it to the best of your ability and the best of you, and live your best life. Try to look forward to a better future, and hopefully his mom won't go back to the same place that literally almost had her child killed. Like I said before, you can relocate. I'm sure that they can give you some kind of relocation and some kind of assistance so that you don't have to go back. Yes, you want your son to be protected. I totally agree. Sometimes what we want we cannot have, and sometimes deaf ears falls to those who don't want to hear what we have to say. So hopefully, I hope that this report, and I hope that his mom and Esaid Hoke are blessed, and that God may bless them and keep them safe wherever they are. Okay? Everybody take care. Have a great day, and God bless. Bye.